All right, so Team B, you guys have any pairs you guys are looking at? Let's start with Ross. Okay, anything for today?
Yeah, I thought US chief was at a point where it could be an on phase, if I got it right.
Which one?
This is US to chief, or what's the proper term? Swiss franc. That's the one.
Yep.
Swiss franc.
All right. Okay, so what's your take on this one? How are you reading this one?
So see that price came down and then down again, and then and then down again. We've got a breach, and then we've got the trapped sellers down here. Prices from kind of started it, was up, and then the guy that started it, and then we've got a line across here, so that eventually gets reached, and I'd say that's our, oops, sorry, you can't see, primary, and then thinking of this as a secondary, and then potentially coming back for an on. I don't know, though the only thing is it's possibly that. I mean, we've got volume coming in this area, and then on those candles, 3 candles, so there's the move started up here, but potentially there's volume on the way, which could impede that, but that's been up the top hasn't been transferred by any means. So that would be a impediment to it, but not seeing a much of a move at this stage. It all seems to be all very small candles, which might discount those thoughts.
All right. So what you're reading in terms of the guy who started here, that's right. You have a trap here, that's right. A range that, reached up. We might get a pullback to continue buying. But it's not so much of a primary or secondary and on kind of situation. Primary, secondary, and on. Is everyone hearing my audio okay?
Yeah, because I think we went through this yesterday now, remember, and then that's the big picture primary, and this is all over. This is this secondary now, sort of.
Yeah.
Remember, and so wrong.
Yeah. So primary, secondary, that kind of stuff, we only use that when we see cells coming in, sort of like in an uptrend, and then where we push up and stops and then go further. So in this case, here's what you can try and see. So uptrend, pullback, all right? It's only when we are fading a huge pullback when we consider this primary, this secondary, and this is on. Now, this on phase here, generally speaking, it's also a release from a trap, right? These sellers that last attempted, these are the last guy who started that got killed. Hence, this on phase is also a sort of like a release zone. Right,
so that line is down further than what I drew.
Yeah,
this is sort of one. Oops, it's like that. If that's correct.
Yeah. So the primary, it's not so much of this is primary, this is secondary. all these areas are just this push down, have a sort of like a range, and then high volume break towards the upside. All we know is in a range with high volume, when it retests, it's going to release. That's pretty much what's going on here. Now, is this whole chunk, sort of like this pullback, could this entire thing be a primary that's still sort of like going on like that? Because it's such a big move, right? Then you have to check on your higher time frame, 240, if it's a uptrend. Oops, sorry. So we're not
really downward,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
So
stuff like this, we are not able to consider this as a primary or secondary, because
Yep.
it doesn't really have much use or doesn't really tell us that much, labeling it as primary, secondary, because we're not really trading a pullback. So yeah, do you understand what I'm trying to say?
yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So for the most part, just based on technical analysis alone, what could be happening is, I don't know, maybe this push here that comes down, fail to make lower lows, right? And then spike out the lows. And then from the lows, perhaps maybe people were thinking that the sell can continue to push down and then fail, that kind of situation. So it's not so much of a trend pullback, primary, secondary kind of thing. It's more so like spike out of the range kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. So now, this is your release. This is your traps, right? If you're considering that this is last guy, sort of. If we say this is the last guy, then these could still be attempts, and then we just resolve up. So having that said, it might still be a possibility where this range could still be an area for you to see a short-term release. The reason why
because that's a number of legs, so and then the movement seems to be getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
Upward movement.
Yeah. So I'm not too big of a fan to try and buy this, just because there are a few things, right? The first thing is we're not really trending on the higher time frame. We are not sure which direction to lean on. And then the second thing here is this, if I draw my line here, then it doesn't really look like, we broke through. It's sort of held a little bit and then we came back in. So yeah, these are the situations where it gets a little bit tricky because it's a little bit unclear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. So just a few things. What you were reading about this piece, trap, release, and this range, release, they were all good. Volumes, you were reading the volumes from here saying it's not transferred yet. Those are all good. It's just because we're not trending, we're not pulling back, so we cannot consider this as primary, secondary kind of situation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
All right. Yeah. So we can mark this just to see how it's gonna move, but just personally, I think it's a little bit too small, and coupled with the fact that this down push is very strong, so feels like he's more in control than this guy.
Potentially roll over and short again.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Okay. Yep, Eric, you have a question?
Oh, yes. My question is, if we look at the volume over there, those three, and when I mark on the chart, I remember somewhere here, and also there's one here as well. So if we have high volume in this kind of situation, obviously here we don't really see any levels from this time frame. But do we consider this as a wall? Do we expect the price would react from this area if it come to here?
It might give you a small reaction, but in this case, the biggest or the strongest wall would be up there.
Up there.
Yeah.
Up there. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
So a good wall usually is something with volume and people being trapped. That's yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Yep. That's a good question. In fact, if we pull back up there, yeah, just based on technical analysis, if we pull back up there, there might be a sell, but again, that sell is a little bit towards the unclear side, because if I just go to one time frame higher, again, we cannot really say what kind of situation we're in. Right, at one point we were going up and then channeling down and then breaking the channel, so it's a bit messy.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, in a range like that, try not trusting release zones like this. Yep. Okay. Dennis, do you see anything you are liking for today on the market?
Not yet, but I'm watching other pairs though.
Which other pairs?
Like Aussie yen and USD yen. Those two, but it's not setting up yet. I'm just watching.
Oh, okay. Okay. Setiawan? Do you have any pairs that might set up for today?
For today, no, but I'm watching Euro Aussie, but it's still not setting up yet.
Okay, sure. Let's have a look. All right. So, what do you see on? What's your take on this pair?
So this pair has been ranging for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm still waiting for this pair.
Sorry, you're still waiting for.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for this pair. I don't know which way it will go.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Uh,
So you can try and figure it out by reading the story. All right. So you were saying that it's a range, right? But before the range happened, where did everything started from?
Here, I think it's an uptrend. There's a big range here.
Okay. From there, goes all the way up there.
Yeah.
For now, let's skip this and say it is a range. Then what happened next?
It's still trying to go up.
Nope. What happened here?
Oh, here? It got killed, yeah.
Who got killed?
This one is considered a trap, right? And this one is, I don't know how to say this.
Yeah. So try and take it slow. Right? Let's take it slowly. This is the push that went up. Would you say from this point to this point, would you say this is your guy who started, or this is your guy who started?
I think this one.
This one, right? Because this is too small, right? So let's say if this is the guy who started, He went all the way up. Did we make any higher highs?
Nope.
No, right? No higher highs. In fact, all we did here is we started to range.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you know about range? What are people doing here?
Buying and selling.
All right, so here people are selling, and down there people are buying,
Yes.
right? So is this range big enough to say that if we resolve towards the upside or downside, someone's going to be trapped? Do you think it's
Actually,
big
yeah.
enough?
Yeah, because it's a huge range here.
Yeah, huge range, right?
Yeah.
So this push, when we resolve down, someone's trapped, right? The buyers that were
Yes.
trying to buy, they are trapped, right?
Yes.
So at this stage, when price pulls back, either here or here, what is it supposed to do?
Supposed to go this way.
Yeah, it's supposed to go down,
Yeah.
right?
It goes up.
But now you understand a little bit about a trend and how a trend, when it pulls back, let's say in an uptrend, it might invite sellers in, right? Which is
Yes.
this sellers. And then for the big boy, they might do their primary and then secondary and then go, right?
Right.
Right? So primary cannot go all the way up because someone up there is still trying to do a miniature sell.
Yes.
Right? So in this case, people were selling, and then started to go up.
Right.
So here, when we went all the way back up, who's trapped?
The sellers.
All right, sellers are trapped, right?
Yeah.
So where are their last attempt?
Here.
Oh, this is the guy who started. This is the seller. But that seller, which area were the last attempt from him?
This one.
Yep. So those areas, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if this is primary, just maybe when this push came up, kill all the sellers, resuming the uptrend. This pullback supposed to release to continue the uptrend like this, right?
Right.
Yeah. So this is where your on situation is. Now, after this prolonged range, inviting sellers in, and then trapping the sellers and then moving up, from this point onwards, what's this thing supposed to do? What's the market supposed to do? After a huge refresh, what is it supposed to do? Supposed to continue the uptrend, right?
Yeah. Continue the uptrend.
Yeah, continue the uptrend. So continues the uptrend, no higher highs. Right? At this point, its job is supposed to keep pushing high, keep pushing higher.
Yes.
Right? So
Right.
knowing this fact that this is your guy who started, this is a whole big set of pullback, and then when it starts going up, and then no higher highs, start making a range. What do you think is happening then?
The buyer is not strong enough.
Yeah, buyers are not strong enough to make higher highs, right? Because it should have went. So second thing you can start to think about. In this case, no higher highs, but we're starting to build another range up there.
Hmm.
So just for, food for thought, this might do this. Might.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's still in a range, it's very difficult to say. But if gun to my head, or gun to your head, you want to start thinking that I think this uptrend is dying. It's gonna crash. Maybe. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So always read, yes, it's a range, right? Yes, fail to go lower, but what's actually happening around these zones? What's happening here? What is it supposed to do here? What is it supposed to do here? That kind of stuff.
Okay, got it.
Yep,
Thank you.
no problem. Yeah, so you're all seeing nothing for us to do just of yet. I'm not gonna start thinking about the cells also because we just might be in a range, and I don't unless we have situations like let's say this is the high and then we clearly breaks the high and then have buyers actually stepping in above those levels. If we have that, then that would be an easier sell for me because it's very clear that buyers did try and buyers are stepping in at new highs, keep trying, and then when they fail, it's much more people are trapped here as compared to situations where no new high and we're still inside the thing.
Okay.
Okay, but just based on logic, both cases, buyers are trapped. All right. Laila, are you looking at anything for today?
I also noticed that the euros, I'm thinking they are in the phase where they are going to go down. I think it was EuroCAD I saw this morning. Same situation almost, where I think it's gonna go down, but as you said, you can't do anything yet.
Yeah.
I think I saw it on the 4 hours also. It's at the point where it is it went down from this lowest point to the left, and here I'm gonna see what this point to the left is going to do and decide afterward if it's going to go down or if it is just gonna blast up. But I'm leaning towards the down for the euros for now.
Yep.
So nothing for today, but the one that I was interested in yesterday, I have questions. Maybe we can take it afterwards if you want.
Yeah, sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep, Eric, you raised your hand. You're on mute.
Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I got a question on this pair. Is this pair, there's a chance for counter trend? Because now it break that. Obviously, it depends on the volume and all that, but the last high volume is somewhere up here, I think. So yeah, somewhere there. So this little space from here to here, I was checking the MAs. I think the 4-hour MA is still a little bit far away. So if it pulls back slowly to that level, might be a chance to buy.
Okay. Now, I would only say yes to this if there is a level on the left. We are working with. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's a little bit too small. So think of it this way: if there is no level towards the left, what do we need to trade? We need to have a level, right? If there's no level on the left, then we have to make sure what we're seeing here, we have to make sure we have a level here. So in this case, the better scenario would be actually to have a bigger range.
Yeah, a longer time range. Yeah. Thank you.
But it's a good thought because our whole job is to try and see what we can do in the next 3 hours. So knowing that we want to sell this is definitely not going to be for today. But thinking of this is it's good as well because at least you're thinking, all right, I'm here today. In the next 3 hours, is there anything for me to do? Yeah, but you just want something bigger.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Casey, you see anything you like today?
Yeah, I was looking at a few, but the one I think I like the most is USD yen for this sell. Looks the most interesting and seems like a lot is supporting it. Looks like it could pull back with the volume it has now into this last trap area. By the time London opens, where the volume will be should be higher than where it's at now. Yeah. You want me to kind of read it out, what I see, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one we talked about yesterday. I took a sell yesterday, and then so just what we see in front of us. Have some high volume here. We're in an overall downflow. High volume down there at the very bottom. So who's selling down there? We end up pulling back. We talked about, could these people be selling off of this? And then I was thinking for a buy yesterday. You kind of showed me the higher time frame that this was a bigger trap. Well, it actually touches there, I think.
Yeah.
So we're kind of two-sided. Anyways, we push higher, made a higher high, do all its stuff, come back in here. There was more than likely people buying, just like I was thinking at the beginning of the day yesterday.
Yep.
People trying to buy.
Yep.
I ended up doing a sell in this verse somewhere for short term. That's besides the point. We tried again, and then we broke down, and we have all this volume stuff up here behind us. Is how I was looking at it, with the next high volume pretty far down. This low, and like I said, it should be, by the time, if it comes back up to this area, by the time London, the volume should start to get higher. I would assume when London opens, and if that's timed right, possibly sell to take it. I mean, something like this would almost be enticing the way it's setting up. Seems like it could go lower, but definitely at least to there, just to be safe. That's probably how I'm looking at it. That even on the 4 hour, I believe the MAs support it. On the 4 hour, we have the quick. Let me get rid of all my stuff. We have the quick pullback, and it's already hit the 50 and turning around. So as far as these guys, they got their discount and they're trying to go for another push. Is what I'm looking at.
Yep. You check the daily?
Nope. I should have, especially after yesterday.
Yeah. So it's
right. Yep, that's right. The daily.
It's not a huge deal. Generally, I don't, but I'm just saying that because of this.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. How on the daily it could be a step one. Yeah, it could be. Yep, this could be the primary for the refresh that hit the 50 MA.
Yep.
And this could be coming back, which led me to also take my sell yesterday for a short term.
Yep.
Thinking it could come back to that secondary. So when you just reminded me of that, yes, but I still think there's room, maybe just because of everything that lines up on the 1 hour and 4 hour, it just seems like maybe there's a chance for
One.
what we're trying to do.
Yeah,
Say that again.
yeah, I can understand what you're thinking, and I'm thinking along the same lines. But we're definitely pushing it. If any of you guys watched the recording from yesterday, again, I was saying this push here when we break that that entire range, do we want to sell it? And I was saying no. But again, judging from what I see right now, with all this volumes, there just might be enough room for us to do one extremely short-term sell towards a recent low, not any lower than that.
Because of the daily.
Because of the daily. Yeah. So remember how we were saying how primary and secondary, how we trade them is by gauging the trend and waiting for the trend to end, that kind of situation. So imagine, let's say this is a higher time frame pullback, right? This is a primary for the big boy buyers. So where does the primary stop? So before knowing when it stopped, we should have a clear idea where it could stop. So the where part is here, right? Where these were the last buyers that got killed, right? So this line here, we have an idea that it could stop there if this is a primary. So it went up, and then hit that area, stop. At this point, the trend changed, right? From an uptrend to a downtrend, that kind of thing. So for us to do a secondary buy, let's say if we're doing a secondary buy, we would still need sellers to come down, sellers to come down, and then this downtrend to end at this primary spot. And then the downtrend ends, and then the big buy comes back to life. So the reason why I'm saying this is just so we have an idea that the sells just begin, and it could still have a few more swings, before turning around. I'm not saying it's safe, but I'm just saying the sells just began. We maybe could get away with this sell.
On this, it is just in general the secondary, like the way you drew it. Would it be a little more choppy, a little more whipsawy coming down for the secondary, or is that something that's as far as like the primary coming down, the secondary coming down? Is it more? I don't know.
Slow, you mean?
Yeah, maybe if we were to get on this sell, it could cause problems because we're selling the secondary that we're initially trying to fade out to resume the buy. If that makes sense.
I would say only if there's no volume, then maybe it's gonna be slow, but it could do a lot of stuff, even if it's hard and fast towards the downside, it could reject like even harder, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So I cannot really say generally what is it gonna do, but just based on if price do get up there, I don't know, maybe in early New York or late London later, if volume is good, all that kind of stuff lines up, then maybe this we call this the divider, by the way. So maybe this divider would be the strong one. But let's say time of day, let's say this is a push from late New York and then market closes here, then this might be the slow one. So it all depends on time of day, I suppose.
that term divider that you use, is that something that we should kind of know, or is that, I mean, the logic behind it is, I see how it's kind of broken up into two different pullbacks.
No, it's not really important. So this is the push up, right? We're expecting this trap to release for higher time frame secondary, go up.
Mhm.
Just to put a name on this piece coming down, is just, we just call it divider. That's all.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, so I have this pair as well. This is the only pair I actually marked myself. Yeah, we can put it on the what's it called? Correlation charts in a bit. For now, let's just put an alarm there. Okay. Yep, please, sorry, Eric?
Yeah, good question on this one is that because I'm thinking more sort of on a similar line, but I was actually trying to expecting different scenarios because now we basically, our thoughts is more based on in this area, this trapped buyers.
Yep.
I was thinking it depends on later today in the New York session what the price is going to do. I'm thinking there's another scenario is that the price could take out those people, and then when it pulls back, there's actually a good opportunity for buy as well. It depends on the news come out in the afternoon if the USD getting super strong, and because now those people they were supposed to sell from here. Now if they don't, they got trapped, and I think there's a maybe the strong buy can start from here. Therefore, this one can be the secondary if that scenario plays out.
Might, yeah. So it all comes down to how things are setting up for us on the 5 minute around here. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
I was actually looking for a buy on this one, but I guess I have questions to see if the buy is too early.
Yeah. You wouldn't be wrong to think about the buys as well, because if this is your last guy, right, this may be an attempt still. If that's the case, then this just may be where they want to release. It could be the case as well for you to think about the buys. The only problem I have with the buy as opposed to the sell is we are very close to these kind of areas. I know there is a possibility where price can pull back all the way up there, but it could still, turn around this zone here. So the safer way to actually think about the buys is if this push just struggles all the way down there, and then maybe you can take the buys from there. At least you have space then. Yeah. So yeah, that's why this zone right now, it's in a money spot. Higher time frame wants to sell. Even the higher time frame wants to buy. So that's what we're dealing with right now. In situations like this, I'll just lean towards what could set up first. So right now, because the other thing I was thinking about was this push that came down. If I were to look for a buy, I need a few things, right? This overall downtrend. Where's the highest volume? It's all here. It's not so much at the bottom. So if that's the case, then just based on that alone, maybe the sell would have a better chance of performing first, and then maybe the buy sets up later.
Yeah, this was a good scenario for the buy. I remember you telling Casey that you shouldn't really counter trend when it's basically a launch for the sell. But after looking at the higher time frames and stuff, the sell is actually the riskier one. So would you take the buy
The higher time
in that case?
Can you rephrase? I don't really understand.
Yeah, I remember you telling Casey that you shouldn't counter trend
The
when it's a
sell?
launch. Yeah, because
Okay.
in this
All right.
case it would be
All right.
yeah.
Yep. So the reason why it's possible here to counter trend trade this buy is because there's a possibility on the daily where daily wants to step in. Does that answer your question? Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So on the daily, it might come. Secondary might just starts from this area here. Right. Although on the 240, although on the 60, it's telling us that it's launch phase kind of thing to go down. Yeah. So
Thank you.
yeah. Yeah. Good question. All right. Before putting this on the 5, Team A, are you guys looking at anything else?
I didn't find much. I was just looking at USDN.
Yeah. Okay. Ion?
I was looking at the USD Swiss franc, which was discussed with Ross. The same logic.
Okay. Yep.
And on the demo, I just entered into a buy on it, looking on 5.
Okay. Let's see.
It's a money spot here. Okay, it's a fight between buyers and sellers right now. We can see here a high volume on the buy and also on the sell.
So just on this piece alone, it doesn't really matter that much because when we breach towards the upside, you do have volume behind you. So, before this buyer candle came up, you do have volume behind you. So buying it on the pullback is generally fine. Okay. The only thing that could mess with this trade is what I was talking about on the 60, where this breach doesn't look substantial enough.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be higher, something like this, and come. So
Yeah.
the trade is later.
Maybe. So it's stuff like this, right? This breach, it is a breach. Yes, it did break the highs here, right? This push, but because it's so small, it's very hard to trust the buys. So you want to look for stronger momentum, like this push up, hold there, and then starts pulling back. Well, I guess this one doesn't really have a pullback, but the idea is the push has to be strong. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Eric, you were raising your hand for this one.
Thank you.
No,
Sorry, I forgot to put down, but yeah, I was also looking at this pair, the USD Swiss franc. No, it's a USD. Actually, I was looking at Canadian Swiss franc.
okay. Before that, Casey, do you have a question for this particular one?
No, not on that. I was just there's a couple pairs that looked good.
Okay.
That, yeah, we can come back to it. No big deal.
Yep, we'll come back to that. All right. Eric?
Yeah. So this one basically it's kind of like the sister pair of USD Swiss franc. But this one, it looks like the setup is a little bit nicer than Swiss, than the sister pair. Now we are looking at this breach up from here. We do have volume here somewhere behind us. Now the pullback, I like this one a little bit more because it's struggled all the way down here. And along the pullback, now finally we have some volume here already, which is nice. So yeah, I'm thinking there may be a chance to buy this, and the target area of this is somewhere here. I think there's some high volume area here as well. So yeah.
Yeah, this looks a lot better. Sorry, just one thing to point out. Eon yesterday, the breach was similar situations like this where it's not big enough, where you were talking about potentially doing the buys. So yeah, those are the cases where it can mess around before, resolving. But back to you. For this one, Eric, I think it's good. I think this one looks good. You do have high end of sort of like a range going on there. Volume is definitely on your side here. Like that. High volume kicking in right now as well, coming in. And then do you have volume ahead of you? Yeah, you do have high volume.
Okay.
Here. Okay. So let's see if this is trending. It is, right? It is trending. Now, we also have no slowdown when the sell were coming down. Let me change my color. No slowdown.
Yeah.
50 MA as well. 50 MA might be primary, because primary cannot go far because someone wants to sell. And then secondary from there.
Right. Yeah.
So Ross, this is the type of situation where, trending, pullback, this is your primary, and then this is your secondary. Not the stuff going on inside here. Right. So yep, I think it looks okay. We can have a look at this pair. Put it on a 5 later on. All right, you do see high volume coming in on this downtrend. Downtrend doesn't have high volume at the top. In fact, it has high volume coming down. Who is selling down there, right? So if that thing fails, we can potentially think of the buys. Okay. Yep. So CAD Swiss and dollar yen so far. Anyone have any questions for this one? Just one small thing that I'm seeing here. If we do a buy here, ordinarily speaking, because it's like a primary started from here, no lower lows, and then continues going up, which makes us think this is the primary and this is the secondary, right? And then it went, and then sort of taken out a huge range situation then. Once we have that, it ideally, I would try and look for target as high as this zone here because it's on.
Okay.
Or even here. Now the thing is, when we push up again here, we sort of created a miniature trap also. So you were saying you want to get out there, and that should be the right call to actually take some action there. Yeah. I have some doubts. As the other doubts that I am having is if we go back to the daily, not daily, 240. If this is your primary, this is your secondary, Secondary tries to go, sort of breaches up, hold, breaches up, deep pullback. So then I'm also thinking, all right, we have a deep refresh, we have one push, second push, still no higher highs, and pulling back deep. What is it trying to do? So these are the situations where, we might be trying to buy the second leg or trying to do a third leg where it's struggling to make higher highs kind of situation.
True.
So
Yeah.
something to look out for. Just because this push here doesn't feel so strong.
No.
If this was stronger and then pull back, then it's okay. But I think we can still get away with a buy if a buy sets up. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Does everyone understand what I'm saying about how it could be a second or third leg, that kind of stuff? If you guys feel that you're lost, please do let me know. Yeah. All right. So let's go for Casey. Back to you, Team B. What other pairs were you looking at?
Yeah, this was kind of, it was two pairs. This one that y'all just talked about was on the radar, but the other two was pound Swiss and pound USD. And I quickly determined, no, they actually wouldn't. That's why I just want to bring them up. I don't think they would actually go. They kind of looked like the setup looked good. But then the volumes to me told me to just stay away. Maybe you have this big push up that started from here with some reactions, just a quick overall read, and then we broke below. And then we're pulling back to this area. And but I noticed, I was like, okay, that could be something before this big push down. But I noticed there's a lot of volume below us, or in front of us, I guess, potentially. So I was like, I'd rather go with those other pairs we talked about. Well, this is pound USD. Pound Swiss is almost exactly the same. So with this volume in front of us, and kind of exactly.
Yeah, kind of the same. Yeah.
Just a nice spike there. I don't have that one. Yeah, I got that one on. But yeah, similar. Just there's a lot of volume right in front of us that worried me. Before this big guy came down.
Yeah. This big push here definitely does look enticing, but yeah, there's still a volume ahead, especially at the point where it's turning. So
yeah, I just thought it'd be interesting to bring up. I like those, like I said the other day, knowing when to stay away, because the setup to me, especially on this USD one, looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Strong push down, struggling to pull back.
Yeah.
But maybe it's not too safe.
Yeah, maybe not. The thing about stuff like this is trying to take a chance on cells like this, may work. It's just that if I do that more times, so if I keep doing stuff like that, because if I do it once and it works, I'll do it again, second time and it works, and then I'll keep doing that, and then I'll find myself at a point where I'm not trading exactly to how I'm supposed to trade, and then there's obviously luck involved in trading, right? So when we see the long run, everything pans out, you'll see that probably not the best idea to trade something like that, even though it looks good. So yeah, it might go, but it's just not for us.
Lucas, just a question on that. I took the sell yesterday and I'm in the sell now again. My argument was like just after the news, there was quite high volume behind us. And so, and there was space. So at the moment, it's almost at the take profit level. I'll remove some, but I think with that high volume behind us, we might get a transfer it goes through.
Yeah, might. But because the volume is right around this zone here, by the time you get a transfer, it's already sort of at recent lows, that kind of situation. Here. So yeah, it's sort of ahead of you, but if you get through it, then only it's behind you. Then only it's transferred.
Yeah, I get that. But if you got in early, like me, then you can leave some of your positions to run still if it goes through. No risk.
Yeah. Well, if you got in around zones like this, then yeah, you can remove some money and then see what happens. Yeah. Yeah, but to open a position right now might not be the best idea.
No, it's too late. This morning when the news came out was a good price.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Yep, 240 is turning around. Okay. All right. Any other pairs? Might be a pound thing. Or maybe USD thing. Probably USD. Anyway, shall we take 5 and then we come back and then put our pairs on the 5? Yep. All right, everyone back? So, what do we do? Let's go for the yens first. Let's see. Here's the yen. All right. You guys tell me which one to use. Casey, were there any other yen pairs?
Not that I no, not that I have noted. Just off the top of my head, I can't. No. Okay.
All right, no worries. We'll look at some of the yens. Otherwise, it could be USD, right? So for now, let's just check yens. Yen. I'm looking for the same pattern because if there was something that is setting up with the story, I'm sure you guys should have picked that up. So if there is no other pairs that have a story behind it, then we're just looking at SNRs. Okay. So Aussie yen and New Zealand yen, do we have some kind of area where we might see some reaction? Not really. Right. So let's go for pound yen. Not really as well. CAD yen. Wouldn't really say so. Swiss yen. Wouldn't really say so as well. So might just be the USD thing. Pound USD. The pair Maya is on. So what are we doing here? USD weakness. USD weakness. On pound USD weakness means going up. Right? So nothing here. Euro USD. Again, we're looking for USD weakness so that means Euro USD has to go up. Is it at an SNR? Not really. Right? Okay, what else do we have? USD CAD? Nope. Swiss. USD Swiss, the one Eon was talking about, where we want dollar strength. Again, no correlation. So no correlation whatsoever on dollar yen. All right, let's just go for two more. Aussie USD. Still in the range, nothing much to look at, or at least no levels. We can try and anticipate any kind of a movement. New Zealand USD, similar situation. So USD yen, it's a standalone pair. Doesn't mean it's not good. It just means that it may just not be as smooth sailing as the rest of the pairs. All right, emphasizing on the word may, because just because there's no correlation doesn't mean it's not gonna move. All right, so let's just go down to the 5. Before going down to the 5, release zone, I would say maybe here. Okay, these are last attempts, same area here, same area here, here, SNRs, as well as in last attempt area. Can squeeze as hard to that zone there. All right, something like that. So watching what price will do around the yellow line. Okay, 5 minute. 5 minute. Dennis, this downtrend, how does the volume look like to you? Dennis not here. Still one. This downtrend, how does it look like to you?
I think the downtrend is pretty good, I think.
It's not bad, right?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah. So yeah, volume seems okay-ish all over. Even towards the low, it's not exceptionally high. So we cannot say too much about this downtrend. Okay. Then right now, as we are pulling back, what would you be marking on this pullback? What's your job on the pullback?
This one range. So you need to trap for the buyers.
Yep. So we need trap buyers to continue to sell, right? Where do we want those buyers to be trapped? Think about it. So we are in this push down, right? We are pulling back on the 5 minute. Where do we ideally want the pullback to stop?
Here.
Yep, here, right? Why this zone? Because it's our 60-minute level.
Yes.
Right, 60-minute release zone. So right now, where is your last guy who started?
The buyers here.
Here, all right, that's one guy. Do we have a new? Yep.
There's another one.
Yeah, there's another one there. Okay. So right now, we do see high volume kicking in. So preferably, we want to see buyers making another push and have even higher volume up there. Okay, because our whole idea here is to have volume behind us. If this push continues to go up and no volume around this zone here, even if we get a kill, can we sell?
With no volume, it's a little bit risky.
Yeah, it's risky, right? Because there might just be volume ahead of us around here. So the only thing we can bet on right now is for two things: for a deeper pullback and have higher volume up there.
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense?
Yes, makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so again, just to explain this again, you look for your level on your 60, and how you look for your level is you look for a trap In this case, these are the buyers, and then they got trapped. And this is your B type trap, right? So you mark the level out and then do your volume analysis, and then fade the pullback on the 5 minute towards the yellow line to sell.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. I'll just put this on the side in case it sets up. I already have the alarm there. So, all right, next one. The other one we had was Cat Swiss. Eric, you were saying Cat Swiss. Do you have other pairs that might be correlating? Could it be the Cat group or the Swiss group?
Sorry, I think it's more the Swiss group. I was looking at the sister pair would be USD Swiss franc.
Mm-hmm.
Looks similar.
Right. What else?
Let me have a look. What else do I have?
Euro Swiss, maybe.
There's New Zealand card or Euro card.
Let's for now.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, the Swiss group. No, I don't. I didn't look at other Swiss pairs.
All right, no worries. We'll have a look together. So Euro Swiss. It might be an area where price can react because I see this huge chunk here, all right, which is a huge range. Obviously, people would be thinking of selling that area once we have broken down from the range above. So it's a huge zone for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if we're turning just of yet right now, but we can put this on the side here.
Okay.
Cat Swiss, dollar Swiss, pound Swiss. No, not really. Swiss yen. Swiss yen, we want to go for, okay, well, Swiss yen is not really telling us anything, right?
No.
Swiss yen, what else? What's this Swiss? Kiwi Swiss. Kiwi Swiss, not really. Have I missed out anything? Or is that all? I think that's all, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Sure. So let's just remove this. Yeah, so it's, okay, hold on. We still have to check cats. Let's see if it's a cat thing. USD cat for cat strength. Okay, it's not really telling us much, this pair. All right. Hold on, just give me 1 second. Sorry about that. So cats, USD cat, we want to go for cat strength. Do see some sort of power coming in, but it's not really at any kind of good location. Euro cat. Would you guys say this is good enough?
Okay.
It will
Yeah, I
take
was
time to
thinking
grow.
Eurocard can be something.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, could be.
cat. Not really. Cat. Not really. Yeah. So we don't really have much to work off. Just a few pairs. Again, not too much correlation. Doesn't really say that it's not good. But let's hop on to the 5 on cat Swiss, just to see ideally where can we get it. All right. So this push, it has volume behind the buyers. Pullback, right? Pullback has no volume, highest volume at the bottom, right? The candle we are looking at right now hasn't really closed yet. So we're not too sure what the volume might be, but right now it definitely looks decent, okay? All right, let's go to the 5. On the 5, Lila, what can you tell me about this overall pullback?
The pullback is dying here, seeing the volume kicking here. Just a minute. It is slowly going down and with no volume, and the volume is on this buyer side going up.
Yep.
Here is, I would say that this is the last seller.
Yep.
Yeah, and now I have this first primary from the buyer. So if the seller comes down slowly, if it kills the seller and comes down slowly, I could take it up to the last buyer. Yeah, something where could it be here?
Take it up to there? Just there? No, you can take it up higher.
Maybe on the 1 hour, I can look at it at the hour. This is trying. If the last seller gets killed, then this is not doing anything anymore.
All right. To know what where your trade can come into trouble is just a few things. First thing is obviously volume. Second thing is trap. Right? So from this to this, we have all the volume behind us and there's no volume at all in front of us. Okay, so volume is out of the question. So second thing is checking the trap. Where's the trap above us? So where do you see a trap above us?
I have to close this so I can see. I see the last buy. Oh, okay. I have to annotate. It was in the way. I have to move it to see. Just a minute.
Okay.
I can't move it. I don't know. Okay. I have this last buyer. This is the seller. I'm gonna annotate in a minute. I just want to see it. That is the buyer. That is the seller. This was where the trap is from the buyer. So I have this last buyer here.
Yep.
This is the last try from the buyer, and it comes down. The seller comes to the trap and it takes it down.
Yep. So last buyer here, last try, kill. Your release is here, which got retested around here, right? So if anything, just based on this time frame, your exit on a minimum, on a minimum would be that.
Yeah, because there is no volume or anything. So
yeah, there's no volume also. So this is like the minimum kind of situation where you target here.
Yeah. Okay.
So right now, this piece is tricky because this is for everyone to know. One can argue this is the last guy, this is the last guy, that's the last guy, right? Because it's so small and so choppy.
Exactly.
So here's what I usually do in cases like this. I'll resort back to the most basic MPA style of reading. From here, we made a push down. No lower lows, no lower lows, no lower lows. Okay. In this case, the only time that we actually break and hold below might be this, but we also have to think of the fact that because this thing got rejected so quickly, and we are not really confirmed, we don't really have much confirmation that oh, that's not the right word. We are pulling back very deep inside this range, because ideally speaking, this should be a launch phase kind of situation, right? So that becomes an additional risk, and because of that, then I would resort to a much higher swing kind of thing, just to make sure there's more confirmation on the buy side. Okay, so saying this is the last guy technically is correct, but because it doesn't make sense, if the 60-minute is ready to go, why is it pulling back so deep? So if that's the case, then just give me a little bit more confirmation that you can take this out, hold above, and then I'll try and pick it up. There, stops here. Instead of trying to get in here. Might be too small. Right? Generally, we're looking for stuff like this for a clear breach. This guy, that, yeah, situations like this. At least this kind of situation is clear. Who's in control, right?
And it didn't range either for a longer time, stayed, and it just came up very quickly. Maybe this is because it is the bigger time frame. So maybe you should just take this move down, all of it, because it is the higher time frame.
Yep. So at least the only thing we have on our side right now is we have very good volume. Okay. So let's wait for this. And then once it pulls back, this can be a valid buy. Yeah. Okay. Any question on this one so far?
Yeah, actually, Lucas, I was actually looking at that. I was going to ask you, where is the last guy who started it? I was thinking about more sort of along that line or that line, and I was looking at this as a basically the trap C type of breakthrough. So when that tested that area, I actually bought somewhere here because of the spread is now putting me at a price somewhere here. My stop is here, and my take profit somewhere there because I realize I'm a bit aggressive, so I don't want to hold my trade too long. So so if that's the case, if this comes back to here, is it that's something I don't know if maybe not scaling? I don't know. Is it opportunity to scale in because now my price is more kind of like here? I think my entry price.
Okay, so because you have smaller size here, right? Yeah. So if you have smaller size there, then I wouldn't do anything here until we break, and then here you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe about you. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So what you're doing here is technically right as well. So these are the stuff where you guys really need to try and experiment on yourself with yourself. What suits you? You know, what can you get away with? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
As long as you have volume and you're at a 60-minute release zone, then it's okay.
Thank you.
No worries. Yep. Spread is not so good, right, on this pair?
No. My broker is like 17 or 1.7 pips or something like that.
Oh, okay. Let's see. What was I gonna say? No. Yep. Good attempt. Good push. Volume looks good. Oh yeah. The other thing I was gonna say is this range before breaking up, we actually have some kind of zone here, which we, can sort of imagine that the final last little guy on whatever 5-minute time frame, 3-minute time frame that we're selling down there. So this is sort of like the last line of defense kind of thing. So if this trade have to work, it should work from here and it shouldn't come anywhere lower. Yeah. All right. So CAD Swiss. CAD Swiss, yeah, definitely interesting. Yeah. And then we have dollar yen that might be attempting to make another push up. So in this case, where I'll mark the volume, I'll just put it here. Okay, because where's the highest volume is right now, at least, is on this bar. So it's around this vicinity where if we do push through, we have to have volume transfer if volume above us is not high enough. Let's change the color to blue. High volume. Okay, any question for the pairs for today? No? All good? Everything clear? Yeah? All right, let's have a look at stuff from yesterday. I saw USD CAD, a pair that Laila was posting up. Yeah, so Laila, you're Team B, right? So walk me through what were your thoughts behind before taking the trade.
Yeah. Before taking the trade, I was thinking that I have this push. Okay, I have done it. I have this push up. Sellers came, killed the last push. This is where the seller tries to come down. This is the first try from the seller, came down to here, and then I have this try from the buyer. The seller comes up, comes down, and it is supposed to go down from here. It didn't go down. The buyer just came up and took this last seller.
Okay.
And
so why is it supposed to go down from here?
Yeah, because it took the last guy this guy who made a higher high.
Yeah.
And I have all this volume. It transferred to the seller.
Yeah.
This is where it is supposed to go from here. And this is the last tries from the buyer. It went down to here. Tried. The seller made this push. This last push to go down, and the buyer just took it out immediately. You had all this volume from this buyer transferred to the seller, and yet it didn't do anything. It was supposed to go.
Yeah. That's right.
Making low lows.
Yep, that's
but
right.
It failed doing that.
That's right. So downtrend, refresh, high
and
volume
still
buyers.
Nothing.
Yeah. So it might be a primary, secondary. Could it be a kill? Not sure. We pull back. This could or might not be, but could be the on phase. one may be worried about this guy still being alive, but when this thing pushes down, it's clear that everything has been transferred and we should make new lows like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, good. That part, everything is good. All right, so from here on out.
Yeah. And then I was thinking, okay, maybe the seller didn't make it, and I saw on the 4 hour, on even the daily, that it is coming down to an area where something can happen. It would explain why it's failing. But I'm seeing also that the downtrend is the last push of the seller on the 4 hour is still strong. So I think that little pushes just to gauge where I am in this picture. And I saw that if I would take it up, I had distance to the MA, to the last, to the nearest MA. So maybe this could be a temporary buy.
Yep.
Was my thinking.
All right.
So I needed to see what would happen. So from here, from this buy, I switched to be seeing if I could take a buy.
From here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this is where things get messy on this bar. All right. So far, all your analysis for the sell side is on point. But you have to remember, because we are trading the 65, we have to make sure on the 60-minute we have a trap to work with. So in this case, all right, a trap is a level, right, on the 60. Or shall I say level is a trap. Okay. In this case, when we have this push, we don't really have a trap or a level. In this phase, you only have that situation when we clearly kill all this guy, this seller here, right? So it's only here where you have to start looking at the 5-minute to gauge the pullback. If it slows down there, then you buy from there.
Okay. I was caught up on the lower time frame, I guess, too much.
A bit too soon, because yes, we have volume. At this point, I was looking at the charts and I see a huge ton of volume, and I was looking for this setup. Just because they have a refresh, they tried multiple times, and they failed to go lower, build a huge range. If we pop up, then we can go. If the 5 minutes slow down.
Yeah, that was on a much lower time frame. I guess I was watching then because I was watching what was happening, seeing this range, this fight between the seller and the buyer, and I saw the sellers just giving up here somewhere, squeezing, and then the buyer took it up where I thought it would stop because there was an MA. It will, yeah. And that was it. That was the trade that I'm waiting for. But I think this move altogether was on the much lower time frame. I was caught up in that.
Yeah.
So I had, always to think about the big boy, not forgetting that.
Yeah, just make sure on your 60 you have a level to work off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand. Because I also saw this, I'm sorry, this move down where it was supposed to go down, it tried here, and I saw a lot of tries here also. That's where I decided, okay, I think it's going up to the next level. That was my thought, because I saw some MA and this recent high. Now I'll remember what my thoughts were.
Yeah, it's too soon to say. It's too soon to say they try, they fail. You can have an idea that it can turn to go up, but playing around this zone is a little bit more risky because these guys, or shall I say the main guy, thinks that it's a refresh and they want to sell, but maybe somewhere below someone wants to buy. So wait until we have confirmation that a level has formed. Then,
yeah, getting out of this fight altogether, this
Yeah.
range. that is
Yeah.
formed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Get out of the fight, and then once you get out of the fight, obviously someone's trapped, and then use that trap as a release to bounce.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, Jay, you were saying?
I was looking at this break out of the range too, but I had a question about the MAs.
240?
Yeah. So I seen that with the MAs, the buyers were getting into a dangerous area for the sellers.
Yep.
And then I seen that the sellers did their primary, secondary off the area, but they failed when that range broke. But I didn't know if the buy was still too risky because we were still within this area.
It's an extremely short-term buy when this thing resolves up, because the whole idea is you know this is risky because higher time frame thinks this is primary and secondary from here, and they are supposed to go from there. So that buy cannot go, if you do it from there, your target maximum is here. Just because it can still refresh, I don't know, or come towards that zone and give you trouble. Yeah, the whole bias is the sales tried, they should try, they went, and they failed. So it might turn around. If that turn fails again, then yeah, you might be in a range. Then we stop. Yeah. So the MAs here doesn't really tell us much anymore at this point. The only time where the MA is indicating something to us is just here when we slow down and touch. This is just telling us that, okay, they might start refresh, and based on the price action we see on the 60, they are refreshing and they are selling, but they failed. So it might just pull back to continue going up.
Yeah, because I looked at the daily too, and the buy looks like it would work.
Yeah, because of this, right?
Yeah.
And still have some distance to cover. Yep.
So I didn't know if the buy would be too risky because it was still within that area, or if it would be worth a try.
It's definitely something worth trying, for sure, because you have read this story. We have read this since Monday, right? And we clearly see people selling and failing, because you were in the sell as well, right? With some of the other guys. So you guys were in the sell, so you guys know people were selling. And when this thing failed with volume, for sure they are trapped. So if a slow pullback comes in, you can give it a shot.
Thank you.
No problem. So there's one, I remember I traded one like this before. Where was it? It's November. Yeah, I can't find it right now. Anyway, I'll show you guys if I remember. Where is it? This one. No. No, it's fine. It's okay. now I can't get it out of my head. Hold on. Yeah. Anyone have traded any other pairs that you guys want me to have a look at? From yesterday?
Euro USD now, Euro, yeah, yesterday.
Euro USD? All right. So what's your thought process on this one?
So from the previous, after we broke this, I took this one. Then when I came back yesterday, I saw this pullback. They have like a low volume. So when this one breaks as well, due to this fact that these people, the buyer has no volume and they couldn't do anything. So I think I got in after it.
Okay, you got it out.
Yeah. Because I already did all this one, like, break with the volumes with this one, the release area was here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was paying attention to this one as well.
So you got it down towards here?
Yes. I took out, then later I got it down to this area. Since they came in with strong, and I was watching other peers as well.
Yeah.
Then the refresh we talked about yesterday on the Euro Yen.
Euro Yen. Yep. I remember.
Yeah, because I was, then after we finished the section, and I discovered that this one, this one comes around live, foot on around. Then I checked the left side, like it's actually started from here to the trend.
Yeah.
So then I checked the 4 hours as well. Then when we broke this one, I think I got in after this, since I waited for another reaction from this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Then on the lower time frame, so I was able to get an entry right there.
Right here?
Yeah, after on the lower time, I was able to take out this last buy attempt. Then I take it down to the recent one.
Okay. Yep. This one here, you might want to wait a little bit longer. See where that is. Yep. So at this stage, you would be waiting for a pullback towards this release zone, right? That's your 60-minute level, right, on the 60 here, because this guy got killed, pull back to resume the sell. Yep. I guess it's okay. Price may just be using areas like this or here. But ideally speaking, obviously the higher the better. But if you're gauging the momentum pretty slowly and carefully, then you can try and get in. The only thing I would say is when you get in around the cells here, you don't really have high volume behind you around this zone here, and you have a little bit of volume actually ahead of you right here. So that may be a little bit risky.
Like, I was looking at this point because it came down this last year as a volume. So when they couldn't do first attempt, second attempt, they couldn't do on this scale rollover, I was able to take care of them.
Sure. Yeah, you can think of it that way. That works as well. Just make sure, try and lean towards more on the safer side to have volume behind you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, some of the yen pairs, Aussie yen, New Zealand yen, yesterday were doing the same thing. So if we have a look at Aussie yen, I think New Zealand yen was the better pair. Aussie yen.
Pound yen.
Pound yen?
I think pound yen did the same thing.
Yeah, pound yen did the same thing. But I think yesterday when we were speaking about the yens, this pair was sort of like in an on phase kind of situation when we break down here. I was looking at the entry on the 5, but it was very difficult to get in because there was no volume whatsoever. And then this morning, it started to pull back with that zone, reject in Asia, and then push down. Can we get in on this sell? What do you guys think, Team B? Assuming that there is an entry on the 5.
As long as maybe the volume isn't below you, I can't tell. Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be possibly a valid release point if the entry is good on the 5.
Yeah, only if the volume when we go down to the 5 is up there, then it's okay. But if the volume is down there, then again, it's a trade that's super risky, but it turned out profitable afterwards. So let's just have a look. So where's that high volume area? Around here, right? This cluster here. Yeah, this entire zone here. Well, which is also sort of like the turning point. So I think, yeah, it might be too bold to think of a sell here. But either way, it's in the Asia. I don't think anyone here trades the Asia. Yeah. All right, let's see how the cat Swiss is doing. Oh, looking very good. Okay, now 5 minutes until the hour closes, and you have extreme volume. And we are holding now back above all this range highs. Not really a range, but these highs here. Yeah. So yeah, on the 5, it looks a little bit choppy, right?
Yeah, it was choppy trying to get through that range. Let's see if it's going to fly after here.
If we hadn't got an entry on this one yet, would it be too far gone to even think about it pulling back at this point? I mean, where that release point could be.
I think it's okay because if you are looking at this piece, where's your guy who started?
All the way at the bottom.
Yeah, right, all the way at the bottom. So it's only hard to justify a buy if it does this. Then if we are still looking for an entry around this zone here, then that may be pushing it just to get in like that. If we want to get in, then we still have to make sure we fade the down move.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So there's still hope.
Yeah. So in this case, any pullback can be attempted. Just make sure there's enough risk reward with stops here. Yeah, I'm just thinking about the size. Why is it so small?
Yeah.
Volume is definitely there. So we do have most things with us on this trade. Okay, if this trade ends up turning around, just know that it's a trade to be attempted, whether it makes money or not. All right. USD yen. Okay. Highish volume. Just high, like throughout, right? High here, high going down, high pulling back. I guess it's sort of getting higher a little bit right now, but yeah. New guy would probably be around here. This on here. Yeah, still a bit too early to think about the entry of this one. All right. Any question? Ross?
Just I am sort of in Asia time zone, and typically I'm working during Asia.
Oh, okay.
And then looking at the market at the London, and then US typically is too late for me. So comments on Asia, just trading that period. It's not an option for me at the moment, but are there others that trade that, or Ian's in Asia as well? Is he sort of mainly trading the London and US market rather than ignoring Asia? What's the general feel, please?
No, there's, and you do the exact same thing in the Asia. It's just sometimes the market goes in cycle, right? Sometimes Asia has more setup than London and New York at one point, and then at one point, London has more setup than Asia and New York. So it's still all the same thing. You still use everything you have learned so far. Yeah.
But you got bigger volumes in
in
London and
Asia.
US, so that could be bigger movements.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's the same thing. All right. Anyone have any other question? Watch CAD Swiss and watch dollar yen, I would say, for the rest of the day. Let's see if you can, get a trade in on CAD Swiss. If you guys are already in, then good job. Otherwise, dollar yen might be something else for us too.
Yeah. Lucas, I have some questions regarding the pair that I traded yesterday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to put order in.
Sure.
Oh, spreads on this thing. Okay. All right. What are the pairs?
The USD Japanese yen.
Or the yen, right?
Yeah. I was trading the New York session yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah. So on the 1 hour, I think we did analysis yesterday, and basically that was the last guy who started it, and then we could see on this time frame even we could see he tried and tried. I think I took the trade somewhere over there. On the 5 minutes, it's very obvious that this guy, he tried twice and failed. So I got in the trade, and yeah. But my question is just really the timing of getting the trade. I'm not quite sure if I'm getting too early.
Okay. For the cells, right?
Yeah, for the sell. For the sell.
So it's gonna be difficult to time a sell here. Okay.
Right.
Mainly because these are the areas where short-term buyers will come in. So you are going to expect a fight going on in this zone here. So the safest area to sell again is to use 60-minute level. In this case, after it resolves down, like that.
Right.
Yeah. So we have a few kind of levels to use, right? Either a 60-minute level. Otherwise, if this is primary, then you can anticipate that you want to sell a secondary. Okay. So where do you sell the secondary? This is something on the 5, right?
Right.
Right. So let's have a look on the 5. Okay. So on the 5, let's do it like that.
Yeah.
If this is the overall primary on the higher time frame, went down, it cannot go far, right? Because someone here are looking to buy.
Yeah.
Right. So what you want to do is let the buys try and know that the buy might fail, but fail where?
Yeah.
Right? Fail in this vicinity.
Okay.
Right. So
Right.
in this case, getting in here, yeah, but it's a little bit far away from your release zone. I can understand that you see, I don't know, buys, and then sort of like got killed here, right? Something like that. But it's a bit far from your release zone. Remember, we are on a 5, so we have to be a little bit more precise. So if we extend that out, we still haven't really technically got towards that area, but it's this zone then. Yeah, it's a little bit hard to time stuff like this, but you really want to let the buys try and then fade the what's it called, the uptrend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And then your cells can activate from areas like this. This SNR may give you a problem, and then afterwards it resolves down. So that becomes your main primary,
right?
Your secondary. So you want to let the buys try and think of it this way. When this thing pulls back, we know this buy is risky, right? Because higher time frame may start to sell.
Yeah.
Right. So we don't do the buys, but we let the pullback comes in, fade the pullback, and then when the pullback dies out, all right, now buys are stepping in. As soon as the buy fails, okay,
then we sell.
Then you sell.
Yeah, we wait for the buyer to come in. Basically, on this scale, it's more kind of like a little refresh for the seller to sell.
Yeah,
we need a buyer.
Yep.
I see.
Yep. And then you do that close to where a trap is.
Okay. Understand. Yeah, I think yesterday what I got in is I think I got in somewhere there. I got in there because that's where the news came out. It's bad news for USD, and I was looking at it tried once, tried twice, and those people basically when the price went up, those sellers they got trapped, and when price came down, they were supposed to release here, so buy should happen here, but it didn't. So that means these people they are trapped, and then I actually entered the trade there, and the price did one last pullback, then went. So I was not quite sure if, in this case, is it good entry or I should wait for that and then enter. I think Casey did the entry there, so he's got very much higher risk reward than me.
Yep, the idea of selling this is right for what could be the higher time frame primary and what could be a secondary here. It's just that it's not near this zone. So because selling it here, in this case, your stops have to be at least above this zone, and if that's the case, it's better to wait for an uptrend to come in and the uptrend to fail.
Okay, understand. Thank you.
So that's how you want to do it. So
okay, all right.
Yeah, Casey, you took this trade as well. Any question?
Yeah, I took it. Right where. Yeah, right here. I was just looking at it as like this could be the last push. I was looking kind of minute. Go through pretty quick. You push up and hold. Push up. Tried, couldn't, and failed. I said this maybe was the last attempt of these guys. It's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, I was imagining if I was in a sell here or a buy here, I'd be, oh man, let's see what it does. Crash here, I'd probably get out, but maybe somebody was still in with the volumes. So I kind of read it nitty gritty as these guys got trapped, and this was their last attempt, and then these guys got trapped.
Okay.
And then these guys went, and then they got trapped. So I was kind of switching traps, and I said, well, it's like a range. We're close to the top. I'll try it. I came to the conclusion afterwards, I don't think I want to mess with this stuff anymore. This type of thing. Yeah.
Well, secondary sometimes you give problem like this because we're using the 5 minute to formulate our level. So situations like that, we just have to know where we sell. It's not close to the area where opposite party are trying to do the buys. Because remember, primary will stop. They will stop because someone is trying to buy. So sometimes it doesn't actually pulls back deep enough, and that's fine. Then we don't really have a safe trade. Otherwise, just look at this zone a little bit more to attempt the sells from there. Again, it's easy for me to say with the hindsight bias, but it's just this piece here is not close enough towards the top or here.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're very close to this zone.
Yeah, it was too low. That was one of my PA I put. That was one of the bad things. So it was a pretty risky because it was so low in the overall downwind from where the primary started, kind of on the lower end.
Yeah. So it was a good attempt. I think don't stop doing stuff like this. Keep trying. You'll find the balance. You guys will find a balance pretty soon if you guys keep trying.
Yeah. I went in with half size too. That was one thing. I was like, I'm just going to risk half size.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure on this one. That's something maybe we'll talk about later. Some sessions is like size and
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. We can talk about stuff like that. Yeah, this is actually was a decent attempt. It's just a bit too soon. All right. Yeah. Good trade. Any other pairs from yesterday, guys?
I also attempted Aussie USD, but I'll wait for other team members. If you have other pairs, you can maybe they can share first.
Yep. Anyone else? All right. Aussie USD. Okay. Oh yeah, I saw the post.
Yeah. I got out a little bit too early. I could have got 1 hour out of it, but yeah, just scratched it.
Yeah. It's just that now obviously we all see this happening.
Yeah.
But getting out here might be soon. So here's the thing,
Yeah.
right? We killed the guy, but we don't have volume, right? The risk is there. We don't have volume. We came back all the way up, and then resolved down. At this point, you have volume behind you.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? So you have volume behind you. Any sells from this price is okay.
Yeah. Right.
As it goes down, just look at where your last guy who started is, last swing, that kind of thing. So in this case, here, you can go as far to say that it's all one push down. So
right. Yeah.
Maybe even here, of course, the trade is pretty much in danger, but it's not so much an exit. It's a warning sign, not an exit sign just of yet. Okay. Maybe you can say after this push fails to make lower low, comes back out and held here. Okay, then maybe you get out.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, around here, then you're as compared to where you get out, maybe here you make less money, but it's just in case sometimes it held, and then just crash like that.
Right. Yeah. I think what I did was I got in from somewhere there. I think somewhere along there, and I put my stop loss over there. Is it stop loss too tight? Should it be here?
Do you think? Now the question is: do you think it's too tight? If the stop is here, do you think you would exit seeing this? If the stops are here,
probably not.
Yeah. Yeah. So
probably not. Yeah.
So maybe that could be the problem because maybe your stops are tight, and then you're not as convicted with the trade. Not convicted. That's not the wrong word. You're not confident enough that the trade might go and might squeeze you, and you don't want to be in that position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's really that pushback. It intimidated me a little bit. Because I was thinking this thing should go. Now it came back, and then I was like, okay, so you tested this area, you should go now, but it's still struggling. Then I was like, okay, this is not good. So I was out. But if my stop loss was over there, entry there, I would not have to take this trade anyway because the risk reward is not really good enough for me to take.
Yeah, it's just a little bit over 1 hour. Or just 1 hour,
Yeah. Okay.
So those are the things you want to try and ask yourself. If your stops were a little bit wider, would you get out there? To know exactly why you got out there.
Yeah. So is my entry too early? If I basically I sold there, should I have waited a little bit more?
No.
Enter there would be better.
No, because this was around London, and you have volume behind you.
Yeah.
You can just sell it there, sort of with a cheese trick mentality. But just know that there will be times where it can pull back, and it's absolutely normal.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. So the whole idea is, as long as you have volume behind you, let's see where that is.
Yeah, it's actually behind me, I would say, almost.
Yeah, so this zone here, as long as it's behind you and every time it goes up, as long as it doesn't pull back and goes higher, keeps going down, you're still on the safe side.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where would you be not safe? Again, of course, now I would say it's not safe, right? But yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good one to practice. Yeah. So guys, keep taking trades because the more trades you take, the more questions you have, and then the faster you guys will learn. Of course, only take trades when there is a setup.
Yeah, if you want me to just take trades, man, I could just put up a bunch. I could start taking.
Yeah, but I think you guys are on the right track. Keep going. Okay, let's wrap it up and talk to you guys tomorrow then.
Everybody.
All right. See you guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
No worries.
Bye-bye.
Welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bless you.